Hey guys, welcome in Gorilla Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Alex Bulpin, and it's Monday, November 18th. We just finished up Sunday football, and hey, we smashed again. We had 6 plays, and we had 4 winners. We'll take a 4-2 day all day, every day. Let's recap real quick. We took Derek Carr over his passing yard prop. He sailed over this. This is back-to-back weeks we've won on Derek Carr. Love it. We had a weird one in Detroit Lions, second quarter, minus 3.5 points. This was a Jedi read. They ended up winning 21-3 in the second quarter. Smashed this number. Loved it. We took Calvin Ridley over 53.5 receiving yards. That was a winner. We took Jonathan Taylor over 17.5 rushing attempts. Hit it with 24. Easy winner there. Our 2 losers, we took Pat Freiermuth over 2.5 catches. He had 2 in the first half, nothing in the second half. So that was a loser. I really thought we had that one. And our other one, which was really close, is we took Cedric Tillman over 55.5 receiving yards. He ended up going 3 for 47, and he had 8 targets. We had 5 misses on those 3 catches, which is terrible. Jameis Winston threw for almost 400 yards. Every other receiver or tight end on Cleveland went over their receiving prop, except for Cedric Tillman. So, whatever. Our 4 wins and our 2 losses. Our 4 wins smashed, and our 2 losses were right there. We are doing something well, guys. Let's keep this run going. Smashed last week. Let's keep it going. Let's talk Monday Night Football, guys. So, this is a bit of a weird game. This is the Dallas Cowboys versus the Houston Texans in Dallas, but now there's no Dak Prescott. Houston's got Nico Collins coming back, so that's a big deal for Houston as well. So let's get into some plays. My first one, I'm going to go to a weird one to start off. We're going to take longest field goal over 47.5 yards. Now, stick with me on this one. We have 2 of the best kickers in the game going today. It's Kymie Fairbairn for Houston and Brandon Aubrey for Dallas. Now, let's talk about Kymie Fairbairn. He's covered this 47.5 over field goal prop in 6 out of 9 games by himself, and 3 out of his last 4 and 2 in a row. Perfect. This guy's an absolute beast. Love this guy. So he's done it by himself in 6 out of 9 games. Now, on the other side, Brandon Aubrey. This guy's got an awesome story. Love this guy. He was a soccer player. He played in the MLS. He ended up getting cut after playing 1 year in the MLS. And he's literally watching football on the couch with his wife as I think it was a Chicago kicker misses a field goal. And his wife says, I bet you could do that. So what does he do? The next 2 years, he goes out to the soccer pitch and to the football pitch and starts kicking field goals and practicing. He ends up getting signed in the USFL, like the NFL junior. And then 2 years later, he gets signed by the Dallas Cowboys. And now he's an absolute monster of a kicker. He already has tied the NFL record for the longest kick with 69 yards. He's got 2 60-plus yarders this year already. He's covered this 47.5 number 7 out of 9 games this year by himself. This is a great spot at a minus 120. This is a fucking lock. Love this one. All right. Our next play is we're going to take Joe Mixon over 20.5 rushing attempts. Now, he's covered this in 4 straight games. He's had at least 24 in all 4 of those straight games. The Cowboys give the 6th most rushing attempts to the running back position. Houston's a 7.5 road favorite. They should be smashing Dallas late into the second half. And they're just going to have to run out the clock with Joey Mixon. I think this is a great spot. It can be Joe Mixon over 20.5 rushing attempts. And my last play in this game is I like Houston team total over 12.5 in the first half. Now, they've covered this number in 6 out of their last 7 games. You saw last game when they had a big lead versus Detroit and they ended up blowing it. And I feel like they're just going to come out flying and not take their foot off the gas. Dallas has a 31st ranked defense versus their points. They give up 28.8 points per game. It's an indoor field, as we said, in Dallas. There's no travel spot as Houston is from Texas. This is a great spot. Give me Houston team total over 12.5 points. So those are our 3 NFL plays. And let's get into some NBA, guys. I've been digging deep. I love some plays today. All right, let's talk NBA. My first play is I'm taking Cade Cunningham, point guard, Detroit Pistons, over 9.5 assists. Now, he's covered, this is a big number, but he's covered this in 6 out of his last 10 games. 6 out of his last 8 games. His only 2 misses. He's had 9 assists, so he's right there. The Bulls allow the most assists to the point guard position, so this is a great spot for him. Now, I'm also going to sprinkle on Cade Cunningham to get a triple-double. Now, the best price I found was on DraftKings. It's plus 750. Now, he's had a triple-double in 4 out of his last 8 games. half of his last 8 games, he's had a triple double, and we're getting this at plus 750. It's not like he sprinkles a couple in once in a while. This 750 is wrong. I like this. This should be like plus 500, something like that. He had a triple double last night, so it's not like this is some far off thing that's happened. He literally had one last night at plus 750. That's a great spot. Give me Cade Cunningham over 9.5 assists, and to get a triple double at like a quarter unit. Don't bet a full unit on that. If you're betting $100, bet $20, bet $25 on the plus 750. I like that spot. My next play is I'm going right back to my boy OG Anunoby. I've been rocking this guy a lot this year. Now, the books are starting to catch up. They started off his points and rebounds prop around 18.5, something like that. It's up to 24.5. But I don't care. This guy is on fire. So that's our play. We're taking OG Anunoby over 24.5 points and rebounds combined. Now, he's covered this in 4 out of his last 5 games, including last night where he put up 32, so easily covered. Washington allows the most rebounds to the power forward position, the 8th most points to the power forward position. They just have a bad defense. They're the 29th ranked defense. They're the 30th ranked offense, and they give up the 25th most rebounds. So they're terrible at defense, so OG can score. They're bad at offense, so he can pull down the rebounds, and they're not good at rebounds because they have 25th ranked rebounds. Great spot. Give me OG Anunoby over 24.5 points and rebounds combined. In that same game, we're going to take Karl Anthony Towns. Same prop, over points and rebounds combined. This number is set at 37.5. Karl Anthony Towns has found a real good home in the Knicks. He's no longer in Minnesota, where he can actually play the center position instead of the power forward. He doesn't have slow-ass Rudy Gobert slowing him down. It's his post. It's his center block. It's his spot. Now, again, Washington, we just heard about how terrible their defense is. Now listen to the center position. They give up the most points in the NBA to the center position. They give the 3rd most rebounds, and they give up the 5th most threes, which is a great spot because Karl Anthony Towns can shoot a 3 ball. He's covered this number in 5 out of his last 6 games. This is a great spot. Give me Karl Anthony Towns over 37.5 points and rebounds combined. My next NBA play is I'm taking Freddie VanVleet over 14.5 points. Now, he's covered this in 3 games in a row. He's covered this in 5 out of his last 7 games. He had 28 points last night, so he just doubled the number we're looking for today. In his last 5 games versus Milwaukee, he's averaging over 25 points. That's because Milwaukee gives up the 3rd most points to the point guard position. It's a great spot. We need 15 points out of Freddie VanVleet. Yeah, I like that look. Give me Freddie VanVleet over 14.5 points. And my last NBA play is I'm taking Jalen Johnson, power forward, Atlanta Hawks, over 19.5 points. He's covered this in 6 out of his last 8 games. Last night, he put up 25 points. His 2 misses in that 6 out of 8, he had 18 points, so he's 1 bucket away right there. Sacramento gives up the 4th most points to the power forward position, and they give the most threes in the NBA to the power forward position, which is perfect because Jalen Johnson loved chucking up a 3-pointer as well. All right, guys, after a 6-4-2 day, we got 3 NFL plays. We've got 5 NBA plays. If you guys are rocking with me, let's roll.